Alrighty here. It has been a while since I've posted on this channel. I figured this is a good time to do a video when Deadpool Wolverine has come out. I did a spoilers uh, edition of the Ham Palace on this, a review on this. You can check that out on iTunes, the Ham Palace, or podbean.com, hambo.podbean.com. Anyway. So yeah, I wanted to get this out because I usually review movies that I like or am interested in. I don't review all of them, but obviously, but it's been a while since I've done a video for this channel. I've been hemming and hawing about what new videos I could do, and this is a good thing to do is because it's mostly movie oriented on this channel. I figured I'd do a movie review. And behind me is a version of Wolverine, I guess, that I drew. It's kind of it's like a Dungeons and Dragons version of Patch. Uh, I have right behind me here. And hopefully it's not too distracting. But I figure since I don't have a lot of finished inked drawings of Wolverine on me right now, that would be a good one to post in the background. Hope it's not too distracting. But anyway, uh, the movie's been out a couple weeks, and there's been a lot of reviews I've been watching about it. And I will say it's definitely a one for the fans, one for the Wolverine fans. And hopefully this mic is good there. Um, uh, one for, yeah, it's just so much greatness in this movie. Now, if you're just a regular audience member, I think you'll be entertained, but you won't get the references or the cameos as much. But overall, I think it's still very fun. I think it's to look at it from a just a standard uh non-fan, I guess, to try to be objective about it. It's a roller ride, kind of check your brain at the door a little bit. And the jokes either work for you or they don't. And I think this one was one of the funniest out of the three Deadpools. Um, I'd say it's almost on par with the first one as far as how funny it was. I think to me, most of the jokes land. Um, but anyway, that's just me. Comedy gets pretty subjective. Um, but I was just so thrilled about how uh, the Wolverine outfit came together. The, the blue and gold there, blue and yellow, and how well that popped and how great of a contrast that was next to Deadpool's outfit. And that was a big thing is that everyone was really leery about that costume, for so many years because, oh, how's it going to film? It's going to look so garish, yellow, uh, and, and they do it and it pops. It pops. Um, so I love the shoulder pads. They got that so right. They took some creative liberties with the sleeves. Like, I don't know why they kept the sleeves on. I thought that was kind of I don't know why you did that, but it still looked good. I still look good. As soon as he got the sleeves off. Oh, but and by the way, this is a spoiler. If you haven't guessed it by now, it's gonna be spoiler review, heavy spoilers. I'll post that in the heading, subject heading there. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, it was great. With the costumes and all that. But the story, the story is have you seen this by now? You know what the story is. I mean, Deadpool goes to get the body and of Logan, and he pulls it out of the out of the buried ground there, and it really throws you for a loop that he takes the bones out and he starts fighting everybody with the TVA with the bones, which I thought was pretty damn funny and even though a bit gross, but it's very much in the theme. I mean, they nail the theme of the movie. From there, it's gonna be gory, a bit over the top, uh, and yeah, it was pretty funny. The thing I had with this with movie going in from the trailer is like they're gonna be dealing with the TVA. Now the TVA, I didn't mind Loki season one. I watched Loki season two, and yeah, still pretty good, but there's a little bit of I don't know, uh, a little bit of man hate in it. I think from Loki getting kicked in the nards so many times, and um, yeah, there's just a little bit of uh, I don't know. I don't know. I can't really put my finger on it. It's just kind of a little. Hmm, perhaps a little agenda driven, but overall, overall, I thought season one and two were good enough to watch. Were they great? Eh, you know, I think Owen Wilson really saved a lot of it, and Tom Hiddleston. Um, but but anyway, you don't need to know that. You don't really need to know what happened in those because they cover the ground so good with the TVA in this. Um, and yeah, the guy that they play the head of the TVA is really good. I thought he's outstanding. And the thing with this movie, I thought everybody was great. Everyone showed up and did their job really well. Um, they just they brought it. They brought their A game. And so everybody, good on you. Good on you. What else? What else? What else? Now, I'm trying to think here. All three acts were strong, which is amazing. That's as far as keeping your attention and keeping you entertained. Uh, I'm sure there's a plot hole here and there, but everything I wasn't thinking about much else when I was watching the movie, and that's fantastic because it's got some great set pieces. It's got the fight scene at the beginning, um, which is fun to watch with the credits and all that, and then has a little bit of a this is what's going on in Deadpool's life. And then that's about 10 minutes or so. They don't spend a lot of time on it, really. And what else? I thought it was funny, the stuff with Pete, even though that was over the top with his his chain piercing or whatever. I thought that was a bit silly. Um, so that was all good. And then they get back into it, and he gets visited by the TVA, and he goes to the guy, and what's his name? I can't remember the guy's name though. The head of the TVA, and he tells him that the timeline's dying, and Logan died, so it's going to be the end of the pretty much the Fox universe, and so there's a lot there's a lot of there's a lot of butt shots in this movie and and sorry, gay kind of jokes, I guess. Oh, okay, it's fine, whatever. Um, um, but yeah, he goes and he gets another Wolverine. He goes to visit all these different Wolverine timelines to get the one that's going to help, bring him back into the present to save the Fox universe. And that's just a great little montage of the different Wolverines, like the short, more comic accurate Wolverine is fantastic. That was so much fun, and I like the music selection in this movie a lot. I liked, um, even though the beginning plays In Sync, which I can't stand. Bye Bye Bye. It's done so well as far as the joke of the fight scene and the way. And somebody else said this online. They said Ryan Reynolds dancing is on point, and it definitely is. It's hilarious how well he dances to that song in the beginning of the movie. But I will say, and this is big spoilers, when they have the first fight with Deadpool and Wolverine, um, it's fantastic. Not only is the set look great and the costumes look great, but the musical choice of select. I've always wanted a Wolverine fight or a Wolverine scene with AC/DC playing in the background. And that just really told me that, the creative team here is here to please the fans. It's like they read my mind. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. Like that was really strange, but I loved it so much. And Wolverine catching the bullet or having the bullet in his mouth and spitting it out. And the fight scene, he didn't shake the camera up too much, which was nice. So we could see most of the fight. Later on, the director, Sean Levy, uh, he shakes the camera a little bit during the cameos with the team fight, but it's not too bad, but it's noticeable. But um, other than that, yeah, what a great fight. There's a great scene the beginning of it where Wolverine actually gets on all fours and he's coming at him on all fours like a Wolverine, and it blew my mind. It blew my mind. It's like something that you would expect to see in the video game, Marvel versus Capcom. And I think there was probably he might have done a drill claw on the Marvel Capcom game. Almost, he almost did. But it was so great. So this version of Wolverine is slightly different, but very similar to the original one that he portrayed. But this one's even more gruffer, which I liked a lot and I appreciated a lot. But yeah, it's just I'm just gonna be doing this review kind of non-linear because I'm gonna jump all over the place if I haven't already. But um, as you can see, I was at you can see this, the premiere, the fan premiere, and I got this awesome silicone cup, which is gonna stand the test of time here. Now I'll put Slurpees in it, and big gulps and all that in there. But it's awesome. And they had the Deadhead one popcorn bucket at the AMC I went to, and then the Wolverine bucket with the mouth and all that, and open mouth. But I didn't want to get that. Oh, they also had throw blankets. I got a blanket there. It's pretty cool. But what else? What else? What else? The second fight he has with he has another fight with Sabretooth, which was kind of a joke. It was a joke, actually. Or I was looking forward to it from the preview, but he actually just, I thought it was going to be a fun little fight there, but he just kind of just tacks off Sabretooth's head. And there's a Mad Max reference, Furiosa reference there. Um, but I'm like, okay, it's a joke there. But the other, and I guess it was Tyler Mane um, that did that. Uh, that did the Sabretooth in this one. Um, but what else? That was great. The Deadpool and Wolverine fight in the Honda car was outstanding, and one of the pivotal scenes that I'll be always have in my mind for this movie is that is Hugh Jackman's, you know, berating scene to Deadpool in that car, and how it was a really good I think scene where I think Hugh Jackman should get an Academy Award for playing angry, and that was a lot of fun. That was great, and I just yeah, it was a great little performance there, and really encapsulated some of the pent up anger Wolverine has, and the fight scene was outstanding, and it was done to the song uh, um, by John Travolta and oh man, now I can't even think of her name, Olivia Newton-John, and from Grease. You're the one that I love, and that was so much fun, and just well choreographed, and just a lot of bloodiness that you get to see finally with Wolverine and him cutting stuff, and there being a a bloody consequence from that. So, um, fantastic stuff. What else? Nice pool. Nice pool was a funny touch. And then let's not forget about dog pool. And although the dog, licking Deadpool was got to be a little bit much. I think that was a little overdone on that joke, but uh everything else was the fighting. All the other Deadpool army, the whole Deadpool army they take on is great and real creative. And the bus scene where it's a tracking shot is fantastic because right before it, that's the one you see in the trailer of them walking out in slow motion and Wolverine's got his sleeves off. Um, I thought the thing with the Wolverine sleeves, I thought they were going to make that part of the move like a joke, a bit somehow, where it's like maybe part of his sleeves are kind of ripped off a little bit or from a fight, and he says, "Ah, the hell with it." And he just rips off the sleeves or something like that. I think that would have been fun. But what else here? That was so much fun. Hugh and Ryan they're just in the zone in this movie, and the music that they have, it's fantastic. Jimmy Durante, am I saying that right? He has a little song in this when they're Deadpool and Wolverine are jumping through a Doctor Strange portal, which was fantastic. A little slow motion scene, which I loved. And when they walk out in slow motion, Wolverine puts his mask on, which I assume was hidden under the shoulders the whole time. Now I look at it, the shoulders look even bigger, and I think it's because there's a mask under there, possibly. And it was so awesome. I really loved it. Even though I think the mask had a hard time, it looked a little wobbly, which is going to happen because of the big fins on it. But it's just I wonder if he could see under it, if he could see through he must, because if Ryan Reynolds could see through his white pupil mask, then it must be the same thing for that. I would have hoped, and that was great. That was so great. You could tell Hugh was here to please the fans and make them happy, and we appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. Hugh and Ryan and Sean. That was so I wasn't expecting. I wanted it, even if it was for just a scene or two, but I didn't think that we were going to get it, and especially for so long a sequence like that, which is an amazing tracking shot through the bus where they're fighting the Deadpool army, and they jump out of the back window, and there's a big, awesome, like comic book style pose of both of them, and I should have known because this was the foreshadowing. Oh, this also comes with a topper. I don't have it with me here. A Wolverine topper with the mask on. So I wasn't sure, but that was the foreshadowing there. And also, I got a little Deadpool pin at the theater for going to the premiere event, which was great. That was fun. Appreciated that. But what else? I'm trying to hit on things I didn't already hit on in the podcast. Maybe I'll put the podcast link too, because you'll get a different kind of review in the podcast. But so this is a Mustang 7 Ham Palace exclusive here. The woman, I can't remember her name right now, that played Cassandra Nova. I was surprised how good of a job she did for the character. She totally, the way she spoke and her voice, um, came off kind of like an older voice because she seems to be an older character in the comic. Um, she was on point. I thought she was great, and they're saying she's overpowered in it. Yeah, a little overpowered, I guess, but they made it work, and she's a good threat in the movie. An intellectual kind of threat, I guess, which is good. It's a good contrast to like just a fighting character that they have to take on. Um, but what else? It was great seeing the Fox team get together with big spoilers here. Uh, Elektra and Gambit, the Channing Tatum Gambit, which I thought he was great. He really blew me away as that character. Even if the accent was, kind of cartoony, that's fine. But the effects were done really well with him in the cards, and his fighting even was on point there. Um, Even if there's a little bit of CG-ness, it was still looked really good. Um, what else? Blade looked terrific. Um, and even though he's a little bit older, but he still moved pretty well, and it was great seeing him in the music play as he saw him, and I'll never forget the look Deadpool makes when they're in the car, and they get a Honda again, um Blade says, I'm the only Blade," and then Deadpool looks at the fourth wall and the audience and goes, "Can you believe he said that?" And that was so good. It's like shots fired, and that was great. They get in a little fight against Cassandra Nova's team, and Juggernaut's in there. Oh yeah, X-23 comes back, and she does bring back for a while. She doesn't have the accent, but she does bring it back during the fight, which I thought was good, which is true to the character. So her fight scenes were good. Even if they're a bit over the top, she cuts off Juggernaut's feet, you know, which I guess could happen. I guess, even though it's like, I don't know. Would his mask allow that? I don't know. But she does have adamantium in her foot blade, so it was good to see her in that movie. It was fun. But yeah, very good. Um, Even seeing Elektra again, I thought was fun. I think that was good. And the lines that she had, even though she kind of dissed Ben Affleck there a little bit, the Daredevil. I was surprised she went there, but it was good seeing her. I saw Elektra in the theater, and I thought it was entertaining. I didn't think it was great or anything, but I thought it was fun enough to go see and good escapism. I thought she did a fine job in the role, so it was good to see her. What else? I'm sorry if I'm saying what else a lot. What the scene with where they're jumping out into the portal, the Doctor Strange portal. I quite enjoyed that. And the build up to where they only have 4 seconds and they got to make the jump. I thought that was good. That was quite good. And then let's see, after when they come back, oh, the big scene at the end, this big heavy spoilers, the big finale where Wolverine's got the mask on and they're going in to stop the machine, the time splitter machine or whatever. I thought was really touching. I'm amazed that they used Like a Prayer so many times in this movie because a lot of movies they don't use the trailer music. And so you go to see the movie, you're expecting that music. Well, in this, they use it several times, at least two times. And in the finale, they kind of rework it a little bit and it works so good. I mean, I loved it. And it's touching. I actually cried a little bit. There's a bit of a tear there. I got choked up because of It's mostly kind of like a brotherhood, like it's definitely a uh, moment. Uh, just a connection between the two characters and their traumatic backgrounds with Weapon X and their own personal um, things that they loved in their life. Like Deadpool, it was his girlfriend, um, and him losing her and being losing his looks and all that, and how painful that was. And Wolverine, of course, with his Weapon X and losing the X-Men, because that's his whole backstory in this, is that he snapped and killed the people that were attacking the X-Men, or killed the X-Men, and supposedly killed innocent people because he went into a berserker barrage and he couldn't control himself. Um, but yeah, there's so many great little parts in this movie that I that are just so much fun. It's such a rewatchable movie. I'm probably gonna go, I'll probably go see it a third time. If you go see it, I recommend 3D's pretty good. But I think overall I like the premium sound in a Dolby theater. Or yeah, I would say the sound is good. It's top notch, and that really makes the movie shine. But 3D is pretty fun to watch too, especially the opening sequence. Uh, so I think that's most of what I was going to talk about. But a lot of the reviewers were just kind of saying, it's okay, it's good. I mean, it's like, no, it's better than good. This is definitely an 8 or more movie out of 10. And if I was unbiased, I'd say it's probably a 9. A 9, uh 8 at the lowest, 8.5 at the lowest. But because it keeps, again, if you're worried about story and everything making a connection perfectly, and it's like, no, it's a fun ride. And if you're entertained by it the whole time and you're having fun, and it's believable enough, I think the movie did its job. You know, that's what it did, what it set out to do, and then some. And I hear there's a lot of deleted scenes. Some stuff made the cutting room, didn't make the cutting room floor. Um, I'm hearing all this stuff about World War One and Two, Vietnam scenes that should have been in Origins, that they have in this. That it's even though I hear it's extremely violent or whatever, it's too violent for Bob Iger, I guess. But it's like they should at least have it in the director's cut or a deleted scene. They're saying they don't even want it in a deleted scene. Like, come on, come on, because it's like they did a good, that I we wanted to see a good background for Wolverine through the years, at least in major wars, because that gives his character more of an arc, more of a more depth, you know. And yeah, good stuff there. I loved it. As a biased review, I'd give it a 10 out of 10. It's pretty much perfect. Anything else is very nitpicky. Uh, so it could be like a 9 point, like I said on in the podcast review, 99999. The only thing, like, yeah, it's got the TVA in it. It's got a little bit of that, but it's got a little bit of all the in the TVA, all the not all the ethnicities, but certain diverse ethnicities are represented. But it's all very surface level, and it's nothing that it's like annoying. Like, this is just very forced, like, and but so I thought that was fine. Um, yeah. And how else are you going to do the time variant story? I mean, you might as well use the TVA. It's built in already. And the guy that they got was really good. The head of the TVA. He hammed it up a lot, and I really enjoyed his performance. And everybody was just top notch. Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, the main villain of this movie, the extras, Tyler Mane, which is good seeing him back, even if he looked pretty much like he did in the first movie, which was pretty amazing because it's been a while, a long time. Uh, and yeah, I can't believe it's been over 20 years. It's pretty nuts. Since first X-Men. But yeah, this is a lot closer to what we want in an X-Men movie. Uh, Story first, most importantly, characters first, and yeah, and then everything else like costumes, bring it. We already got Colossus built in from the Deadpool movie. Just bring him over. That's perfect. That's the perfect Colossus to me. And yeah, so I know I'm going to kick myself for not saying certain things that I might have missed in this, but I think mostly this is a response to a lot of people that are just giving it mediocre or okay um, responses. I think it's a lot better than that, and I think people are just trying to be too cool for school and say, "Oh, you know what? This is not good. I'm so much better than this." So it's a good movie. It's a fun movie, But if you're looking for um, something like a really good plot, like a very intensive, lot of twists, and there's a couple twists in this movie, but nothing too crazy. Uh, it's great. It's there. It succeeds at what it tries to do. And it to me it transcends a little bit more because of the performances, and it gets to me a little bit at the ending, the last scene there. It's like a bonding moment between the characters and the family part at the end with Deadpool with his girlfriend, and uh, Logan says to Deadpool, go talk, just talk to her and everything, and they're being friends. The scene at the end, and they're on the bench, and Wolverine's just they're just kind of breaking bread, I guess, or about to. And and even Wolverine just putting in there the bub, a little bit of the bub. Got to have a couple bubs in there, and that was great too. Um, just I could go on about the little things too. But man, I had so much fun. I had so much fun in this movie, and I'll go see the third time. Uh, um, because this is the way you do a Marvel movie, really. And all swearing, even though I thought swearing was maybe a bit too much. I think they went over the top. And it's like, yeah, I don't think you need that much because whenever you over swear, it kind of takes away, the feels of a swear word when you overdo it, as in with real life too. But I guess they just really wanted to go all in with that, but you didn't. I don't think they needed as much as what they had in there. But again, it didn't bug me. I was fine with it overall, but that's just me. Um, so yeah, there's my review, my video review. Hope to do more of these reviews in the future. The background is, you know, built in. It's not the best. I tried experimenting with a green screen, but I have very little room in here for the green screen. So I have to get a smaller green screen somehow for a little bit of a better chroma key. So I apologize for that. But thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I plan on putting out a few more videos soon. They're just probably I have some painting videos on the way. This is such a hodgepodge channel, and but I'll try to do some more reviews. And thanks for listening and watching. All right, have long days and pleasant nights.